We're at the Startup Mahakumbh, a mega confluence of startups and investors. We're joined for an exclusive interaction with Sanjay, the Vice President of Assocham. Thank you so much for your time and for this interaction. I'd like to begin by asking you, India is now home to over 1 lakh startups, 1.15 registered startups. The rise we are seeing in, of course, tier 2, tier 3 led startups altogether, and women-led entrepreneurship is at a historic high. So a big leap really, and the Startup Mahakumbh showcasing that.
Absolutely. I'm amazed at just the enrollments. We have waiting lists now. The vibrancy in this hall is just palpable. You can see it. You should tell us. What do you think? Isn't it a massive?
Absolutely.
It's quite, it's humming with energy. It's unbelievable. And this is, remember, only the first half of the first day. So I think it's going to get a lot of virality and we'll have more people coming in. Look, I think the real objective was to get founders, funders, incubators, innovators, universities, districts, states, international, all together. One big melting pot. And I think from our perspective, if founders and funders can get connected, if founders can find 3 or 4 good mentors, if people can find some good incubators and find some good, connections, I think we achieved our purpose because, an entrepreneur's journey is quite lonely when they start, as you heard Dipinder talk about it. So I think if they can get them the connections, the connects, and, then you grow from there. And plus, you anyway have a government that is very enthusiastic, very enthused. They see the significance of startups to the future of the economy. That's why they've been facilitating us quite in a very focused manner. This wouldn't have come together the way it has without their help as well. Yeah.
True. So really a mega confluence, like you said, of startups and investors coming together. But funding remains a concern. Many startups from tier 2, tier 3 cities really not being able to find their voice. Of course, some are managing to make their mark. Some sort of still struggling with the funding element. So your message to them, and how do you think this funding issue can be resolved, and so that the startup eco-culture can see a bigger leap going forward?
Yeah, I think we should not call it a funding issue. It's not like funding is stopped. I think the funders have become a little bit more cautious after what has transpired last couple of years. I think given the TAM in India is so big, given the number of opportunities in every sector, I mean, healthcare, food, hygiene, AI, there is no question of funding not being available. Having said that, I think the funders are going to be a bit more cautious to understand the founders better, pay a little bit more attention to what the business model is. Of course, you will never know if it's going to succeed or not, but they're spending a bit more time. So don't misunderstand, deal activity, speed of deal activity being slow as a funding window. So that's number one. I think number two, we're going to see with the kind of catalytic push by SIDBI as well, funding so many local funds. I think we'll see the emergence of many local fund managers. Ours, the local fund at Sorin, we are 90% locally funded, $165 million. And yeah, SIDBI's backed us as well. So I think they play a catalytic role, but we need more local fund managers or local funds to come out. Because the local savings, and then if you bring in insurance and pension, is the highest quality, longest duration, most patient savings. And it doesn't mean we won't get foreign funding. Foreign funding is coming anyway, but we've got to develop our homegrown fundings to be truly self-reliant. I think those two things will help. And the final point is, I think founders are also being choosy about the funders. Yeah, so that's also very good. These are all healthy things.
Right.
And I wouldn't call that a funding issue. It's just rediscovering and not just being driven by valuation, not just being driven by quick returns, not being driven by Series B has to be double of Series A, Series A has to be 3x of Angel. I think that thing is out of the window right now.
Right. Now, India is already performing really well and outperforming the startup eco-culture. But when do you think India can be leading innovation and the startup culture going forward?
The way things are going and what I'm seeing here, and if we can do this couple more years and the government remains and will, I think, will definitely remain very enthusiastic and supportive, then it's up to all the folks who are here to come together and innovate and build for India, build for the world. What I'm seeing today, I think we should be at that stage in 5 years' time. Be the number one startup ecosystem in the world. We should be. And, we're also being facilitated by DPI, the kind of DPI work that the government has put in. All this are big facilitators. Yeah.
All right. India should be the #1 startup ecosystem in 5 years. And of course, we're seeing key policies really drive that change. Thank you so much for this exclusive interaction and your time. Thank you.